Maldives or Republic of Maldives, Divehi, Jumhuriya in Divehi State, is an island nation in the Indian Ocean. Its capital is Malé, member of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC. This country is the lowest country in the world. Famous for tourism, the country has a maximum elevation of only 2.3 meters above sea level and an average elevation of only 1.5 meters. The Maldives is made up of more than 1,200 small islands. The name Maldives is probably derived from the Maldivehi state, which means the occupied island state of Mal. According to some, the name Maldives is derived from the Sanskrit Maladwip, meaning island Malia, or Mahaladwip, meaning women's island. Although no such region is mentioned, there is a reference to a region called Lakshadweep. Another theory is that the name Maldives is derived from the Tamil word Malativu, meaning island. In the Middle Ages, Ibn Battuta and other Arab tourists referred to the region as Mahal Dibyat. Mahal in Arabic means palace. This name is currently used as the state symbol of the Maldives. Location approximately 400 miles southwest of Sri Lanka, consists of 1,010 coral islands. Maldives naming: there is considerable disagreement over the naming of the Maldives. Some claim that Maldives means Mel Island Kingdom or Patriarchal State. Originally, the island was a Sanskrit word, and the word Mal corresponded to the name of the country's capital. During the colonial period, Dhaka mentions the name of the archipelago as Maldives in their documents. Later, the British used the same name, which was used as the local name of the country. In the Sri Lankan ancient literature, Mahavamsa, Maldives is called Women's Island or Island of Women. However, some scholars believe that the word Maldives comes from the Sanskrit Maldives, which means the island of flower garlands. However, in ancient Vedic literature, this island is called Lakshadweep, or hundreds of thousands of islands. However, there are more than 1,000 islands in the Maldives, but not 1 lakh islands. Ibn Battuta, an Arab traveler, calls this island Mahal Island, or the Island of Palaces. And Ibn Battuta's interpretation of the state symbol of the Maldives is still the use of pictures of palaces or palaces. History: Maldives or island garland. Maldives is derived from the Sanskrit word Dwipmala. Some people say that the word Maldives originates from the word Maldive Rajay. The word Maldive Rajay means island kingdom. Many people also call Maldives as Mahaladwip, Mahal Manar Palace in Arabic. Muslim rule in the Maldives since the 12th century. Ibn Battuta went to Maldives in 1343 AD. Qazi was. Maldives is also called Lakshadweep in Sanskrit. It means a combination of millions of islands. In fact, the Maldives is not a collection of millions of islands. There are 26 atolls. Atoll means coral island surrounded by lagoon, 26 atolls and 1192 small islands, of which only 200 are livable. The Maldives is called the Women's Island in ancient Sri Lankan historical texts. During the time of Emperor Ashoka, that is, in the 3rd century AD, some Buddhist monks went to Lakshadweep. Then the Dravidian-speaking people moved to the island. The Dravidian-speaking people probably migrated from South India. After that, Sinhalese go to Maldives. They were Buddhists. The Muslims then inculcated Muslim culture on the island. The time is 12th century. From 1153 to 1953, the island was ruled uninterrupted by 92 sultans for 800 years. In 1506, the Portuguese tourist Dom Lourenço de Alameda arrived in the Maldives. At that time there was a Portuguese trading post in Goa, West India. The Portuguese used to collect taxes by force. 1563 AD. The Sultan of the Maldives is Sultan Fakrafani al-Azam. He expelled the Portuguese from the Maldives. Sultan Fakrafani al-Azam is a forerunner of the Maldives. He was the one who introduced new writing. He formed the military. The British annexed Sri Lanka in 1815. Then the Maldives also surrendered. Whatever. The Sultanate ended in 1953 and the Maldives became a republic. Amin Didi was the first president of Maldives. She was for women's liberation. The Orthodox followed. As a result, Amin Didi was ousted. The legislature then again ruled in favor of the Sultanate. Muhammad Didi became the new Sultan. When he allowed the British to build military bases, mass protests broke out. On the 28th of July 1965, the Maldives gained full independence from the British. Politics: Republic Square in Malaya. The country currently has a presidential system of government. The president is the head of government. The president appoints the cabinet ministers and he is their chief. The president is in office for 5 years. However, non-Muslims have no right to vote in the country. The country has a 50-member assembly. They served for 5 years. Out of these 50 members, 8 are nominated by the president. This is the only way women get a chance to enter parliament. The country's first political party was formed in 2005. The party, founded by former President Mamun Abdul Gayoom, is called the Maldivian People's Party. In the same year, another political party emerged, the Maldivian Democratic Party. This is how multi-party political parties were born in the country. Administrative regions defense system. If small, the country has a minimum defense system. The Maldives has a joint defense force called the National Defense Forces. The main task of this force is to protect the security and sovereignty of the country. These forces have been given pre-approval to take steps to safeguard the internal security and sovereignty of the country. Organizations such as the Coast Guard, Fire and Rescue Service, Infantry Service, Defense Institute, etc. manage the MNDF's forces. Despite being surrounded by the sea, the Maldives has no navy. Neighboring countries, especially India, are largely dependent on this economy. Marine fish have been the mainstay of the country's economy since ancient times. However, at present the country has also made significant progress in the tourism industry. It can be said that the biggest industry of the country is now tourism. The tourism industry accounts for 26% of the total income and 70% of the total foreign income. In 1979, the country's government announced its first economic reform program. At this time, liberal policy was adopted in the field of foreign investment. The country's GDP growth has averaged 7.8% over the past decade. Population. The population of the Maldives is about 3 million, 100% Muslims. Divehi language or Maldivian language is the official language of Maldives. Almost all of these islands speak Divehi dialects. Sinhala, Arabic and various Indian languages are also spoken here. English is used in the international trade and tourism industry. Culture. Since the Islamic Sultanate has been established in the Maldives for over 600 years, the current culture of the Maldives is largely influenced by Islam. Transportation. Ibrahim Nasir International Airport, Maldives' main entrance. The state-owned Island Aviation Services, Maldives, operates international flights to Chennai and Tiruvananthapuram, India and Bangladesh.